Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Live at 5. My name is Stanley Philippe. I'm a recruitment officer and page liaison at Carleton U. Today's Live at 5 is all about what comes next. You've applied. Now what? And we're going to hopefully help to answer that question and many more questions that you may have. Now, speaking of questions, just want to start by directing your attention to our Q&A. We have the option for you to chat with us. So if you have any questions at all, please post that in the chat. And we will do our very best to answer your questions as quickly as possible. I'm not by myself. I have a team of colleagues here that will also be able to answer your questions. So definitely ask away throughout this session. This is all about you, about your application. So we really want to make sure you get what you want out of the next 20 or 30 minutes or so. Now, if you've attended a presentation at Carleton, you know that we like to begin our presentations by acknowledging our campus location. So Carleton University acknowledges the location of its campus on the traditional unceded territories of the Algonquin Nation. And every time we do this acknowledgement, it gives us a chance to pause, to really think, and to connect to our past, our present, and our future. And I think especially about connection as we are celebrating as well Black History Month this February, as we do every February. And it's again a great chance for all communities to really pause and to think and to reflect and to see how we can connect our past, our present, to our future. So it's really great to acknowledge, what's happening in the world, and also acknowledging where we are. And so hopefully that will ground our conversation to something really meaningful and powerful. All right. With that being said, like I said, we are talking about the next steps after your application. And I'm hoping that anyone and everyone that's attending today's session has one thing in common, which is that they've applied to Carleton U. And if you have submitted your application already, allow me to be one of the many folks at Carleton to say, thank you. Thank you for picking us on your application. It's not an easy feat to go from being in your maybe your grade 12 year, or maybe in your last year in college or another university, and starting to think about what's going to be the next step in your academic journey. That application is a signal to us that you are interested, you are thinking, and you're connecting to something that's offered at Carleton U. So we're very happy that you've taken the time to submit your application, and that's the first of kind of 4 key steps that will take place throughout your journey to becoming a Raven. So first off, submit an application. Again, many of you have done that. If you haven't done so already, you still can submit an application through the Ontario University Application Centre's website, and in some cases on our website as well. But that is kind of the main spot for all the universities in Ontario that you may be considering. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is, of course, becoming admissible for admission. And when you submit an application at Carleton U, you're not only telling us, hey, I am interested in the program, you're letting us do the work. And our job in our admissions office is to try to get you into the program that you've chosen as soon as possible. And a lot of that is connected to your eligibility. I'm going to be talking a bit through the lens of the Ontario High School system and the Ontario High School kind of calendar or schedule. But please rest assured, if you're not an Ontario High School student, if you're not a province student, if you're an international student, we do have folks here in the chat that can help answer some more specific questions about your specific kind of application timeline. Okay, so the frame that we're going to be using is primarily Ontario High School for this conversation. So in Ontario, we have this common application deadline of January 13th. So many students have submitted their application already. And then when that gets received by our admissions office, what they attempt to do is, again, look at your basis of admission, which would be your top 6 grade 12 U or M courses, including your prerequisite subjects. So we're looking to establish that basis of admission, and then looking to see where your average is at. Now, averages will vary depending on the program that you've applied to, or programs that you've applied to, but we'll look for that combination of grades and prereqs to hopefully make an offer. One of the big kind of misconceptions, one of the big things that students get really kind of anxious about is the timing of the offer. A lot of students think that if they haven't heard from us in a day or a week or a couple weeks, that they're out of the running. And the big thing that we like to emphasize with our students or applicants is that we have a rolling admission cycle. So that means that when we receive your offer of admission, we'll continue to evaluate where your grades are at, where the prerequisite courses are, and so on, until we are able to make you an offer. So if we can't make you an offer in January, we'll continue to look at your application when we receive your new set of grades, which should be happening maybe later this month or in early spring. So that's something that's really important to note, is that we will continue to do that evaluation throughout the next few months. Okay, so don't feel as if you haven't gotten an offer yet that you won't be getting an offer. You're still in the running. There are also some programs that have specific additional requirements that will, really kind of be essential to offers being made. And so if you're looking at, architecture, industrial design, social work, interactive multimedia design in our information technology program, or music, you have this March 1st deadline to submit your additional requirements to your respective departments. And when you do that, we then are able to look at your portfolios or look at that audition and really start to kind of evaluate not just your grades, but those additional pieces to hopefully make an offer. So students in those programs will certainly won't receive an offer of admission prior to late March at the very earliest. Okay, so again, another reason for you to not kind of panic or be too anxious about that scenario of you not holding an offer yet. Okay, so hopefully that has helped calm some of maybe the nerves that are out there, and really your currency in this process are your grades. Okay, so a really big tool that we have is our admissions website, and there's another tool that I will point to you in a second. Keep looking at that, making sure that your grades are where we've listed and as high up as possible to really try to increase your chances of getting an offer in a timely fashion. Okay, so hopefully again that helps. Once you do receive an offer of admission, then you'll have an offer response deadline. So for students in Ontario, that deadline is June 1st. So that's a common deadline in Ontario, which gives you some space to, if you're holding an offer in, let's say in April, gives you some time to really kind of evaluate it, think about it, kind of do your process prior to that June 1st deadline. You certainly can accept your offer beforehand, and us at Carleton are always happy when we get students that accept their offers as soon as they receive it. It's a good feeling for us, good feeling for you, hopefully as well. But just as a deadline to keep in mind. For students who are not in Ontario, in your offer of admission package, we'll specify kind of the date for you to respond to your offer of admission. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. When you do accept your offer of admission, then you're telling us, I'm ready, I am excited to become a Raven. And then what will happen after that is typically in middle of May or early to middle of May, you'll receive an email that will inform you about our registration process. Okay, so what is registration like at Carleton? What are the tools that are available to help facilitate your registration process? What are the folks you can reach out to get additional assistance? That information will be sent out to you typically in, again, that early to mid-May window, and then registration will start in kind of late spring. So in late May, early to mid-June is when we typically start that registration process. When you're done registering for your courses, then you get to kind of sit back, relax, and wait until September of 2022, where you become an official Carleton Raven. Okay, so between now and the start of the fall term in September, the steps you'll go through are applying, receiving an offer, accepting your offer, registering for your courses, and then doing a happy dance because you're actually coming to Carleton in the fall. Okay, so hopefully that made sense. If you need any clarification on any of those steps, again, please use the Q&A. Our team is here to help you. So once you've kind of gone through that, you might be thinking, well, what are some of the tools I can utilize to really help facilitate this process? I mentioned our admissions website, but really the best tool that's at your disposal is our 360.carleton.ca website. Your Carleton 360 account is really, really important for different reasons. One, it's the quickest and easiest way to monitor your application. Okay, so if you're someone like I was, you're constantly checking to see, well, did I get in? Did I get in? What's going on with my application? You can check it literally every day on your 360 account. And as soon as we do make a decision or there's a change in your application, we'll be reflecting that on 360 first. Okay, so you can definitely monitor your application on Carleton 360. For students who are not studying that Ontario high school system, it's also a really great place for you to upload your transcripts. And the reason why we mention that is because in Ontario, students are kind of given the ability to go through their guidance office. So the guidance office will upload their transcripts directly, and that'll be distributed to all the universities in Ontario that they've applied to. For out-of-province students or college transfer students or international students, 360.carleton.ca is really the easiest way for you to upload your transcripts directly onto your account. We'll receive that, and then we can start to do that evaluation of your grades and your courses. Okay, so you can use your 360 account to give us the latest transcripts, latest information on your academic journey. And then finally, 360 is a really great place to learn about different events that are happening. Events like today's Live at 5. Did you know that we go live at 5 every single Wednesday? It's a reoccurring thing, and the different topics that we explore. So you can register for all our Live at 5s on Carleton 360 and many other events as well. So definitely keep an eye out on your 360 account for all the latest and really the best ways for you to stay connected with what's happening at Carleton U. Okay, so that's 360.carleton.ca. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to, again, my awesome colleagues that are here. One of the things that we love doing is connecting with you on a one-on-one basis. And then one of the ways that we can do that, particularly in this virtual world, is by booking a coffee break. So our coffee breaks have become a bit legendary in the last couple of years, if I do say so myself. And the reason why is it gives you a chance to connect with us, and it gives us a chance to connect with you and really help you understand your application, understand different dates and deadlines that are coming up, answer some of the vital questions you have about, what it's like to be a student at Carleton and what are the different kind of residence experiences like and so on. So you can really have a more intimate conversation through our coffee break. So by simply going onto our admissions website, admissions.carleton.ca, you're able to hop on our coffee break page and request a coffee break with a student or with one of our staff members. Yes, you can talk to a current student in your program to learn more a bit about the day-to-day experience at Carleton. We've also given a shout out to some students that are out there that have already booked a coffee break with us. We really appreciate you've already done that, and hopefully that conversation really helped to kind of clarify certain things and got you excited for what Carleton can do for you. And then in the coming weeks, we're going to be giving you an opportunity to talk with someone within your faculty. So another type of coffee break where you have a conversation with maybe a professor or somebody in your department that's going to be, again, kind of leading the conversations that you're going to be having within your kind of academic unit. So our coffee break is one of a few different virtual opportunities that we have. Another really great opportunity for you to connect with us virtually is through our podcast. Now, I always kind of feel embarrassed kind of sharing and talking about it because I am the host of this podcast. It's called the Talking Raven podcast. So hopefully you are not kind of annoyed by my voice because you'd be obviously hearing me on the podcast. But in all honesty, what we try to do with this podcast is to give you a different slice of the Carleton pie. Every single week, bring different conversations, topics, thoughts that we think will help you really understand what it means to be a member of our community. Because when you're pursuing post-secondary, not only are you looking at a degree that will connect you to a career, you're also looking at an experience that's going to open you up to your passion, your purpose, what you can contribute to your local, to your provincial, to your global community. And so we really want to give you a chance to learn about the type of community that Carleton has to offer you and how you can really fit and excel in that community. So it's called the Talking Raven podcast. You can find us wherever you find your podcast. We drop a new episode every Friday, and so I really hope you take the chance to check it out and let us know. Let us know either in the chat if you've already listened to the podcast, and if you haven't and you do listen to it, you can hit us up on Instagram and let us know your thoughts on the podcast. We'd love to get your feedback because it is, of course, done for you. I referenced some of the events that are happening at Carleton, including our weekly Live at Fives, and where you can check out our list of events. There's one really big event that happens every single year that I want to draw your attention to right now. It is our March open house. And of course, we have our virtual open house happening on March 12th, 2022. So if you can pull out your cell phone, scan this QR code to get more information to register for the upcoming session. It's happening again March 12th. It's going to be hosted on AirMeet, and this is a really great way for you to literally learn and meet everyone at Carleton from the comfort of your own home. You'll learn more about the program that you're thinking about attending. You're going to learn more about the different services that are going to be supporting you throughout your academic journey. You're going to learn about ways you can get involved if there was extracurricular activities, sports and so on. And then again, learn a bit more about where you're at in the application process and what's going to come next too. So it's like an extension of the conversation that we're having this evening, but we're going to add on all the other facets of the Carleton experience too. So please do me a favor. If you haven't done so already, pull out your phone, scan that QR code, because we really want you to come visit us at our home. Virtually, sure, but still a really, really, really great understanding of what makes us unique, what makes us stand out, and what makes us hopefully the right fit for you. So again, that virtual March open house is happening on March 12th, 2022. Starts at 9 a.m. Eastern time until 4:30 p.m. Eastern time as well. So. We really hope to see you on March 12th. All right, we're nearing the end of our presentation, or the presentation portion of tonight's session. We always like to wrap things up by mentioning our website, admissions.carleton.ca. We're emphasizing 360.carleton.ca. Again, that's your Carleton 360 account. Really great way for you to stay connected with us. You also want to stay connected with us through social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and I'm happy to announce we now have a TikTok account. And our TikTok account is just so good. It's really entertaining, informative, unique, but also trendy. So I really encourage you all to give us a follow. We have some content coming your way that you're not going to want to miss. And that's going to showcase not only the Carleton community, but also a flavor of the city, of what Ottawa can be like for all of you too. So I really hope you check us out on TikTok and again on Instagram and Twitter, as well as Facebook. So that is it for today's session. I hope you have a better feel for what's going to come next. Again, the biggest takeaway is to remember we are here every step of the way. When you apply, you receive an offer. When you accept that offer, when you register, we're going to be there every step of the way to guide you, to assist you, and to answer any questions. And speaking of questions, I'm now going to turn my camera off, and I'm going to direct you all back to the live event Q&A. We're going to stick around for the next few minutes to continue to answer your questions. So please keep on asking those questions in the Q&A. My name is Stanley Philippe. Really appreciate you taking the time on this Wednesday evening, at least here in Ottawa. I wish you a very safe rest of your academic year, and I really hope to see you at Carleton in the fall. Take care, y'all.